Good morning. It is day 152 on the Pacific Crest Trail, and had a little bit of a late start this morning. Slept in until about 6, just because we got into camp late last night, like 7:45, and took a bit of time to get to sleep as well. I was a bit paranoid about mice and stuff, and I think just squirming around a little bit took a while to get to sleep, but feeling fairly rested. It wasn't too cold this morning either, and no condensation, even though we're cowboying, so that was a big win. So warm enough that no condensation. Good times, don't have to dry anything out today. I think we're aiming for another 20 or so today. A fair bit more elevation. There's like 3 steep, shortish climbs that are chill afterwards. So like up, straight, up, straight, up, straight. But yeah, it should be a fairly nice day again, fairly short. Yeah, let's catch up in a bit. Hello again. Remember in the previous video where I said we were entering the Goat Rock Wilderness and I was excited because I heard so many good things? Well, the Goat Rock Wilderness delivered and then some. It has been an absolutely stunning day. Definitely one of those days where I've got too many videos to choose from, and I'm going to have to make some executive decisions. But yeah, views stunning, amazing. I even did see some goats at one point, very far away, but I saw them, so the goats exist. I don't know if the goat rocks are named after the goats. I have a theory that at least part of the trail is named as such because it takes a mountain goat to walk on the trail. There were some very, very steep bits that were a little bit sketchy, but we got through. We survived. But anyway, the main thought from this morning was that I realised I haven't really been thinking about how I'm feeling a lot recently. I think partly because I feel like I've thought about all of that stuff already, and then also because I don't want to think about the end of trail. I've kind of suppressed that a bit. So I took a bit of time to kind of figure out why I've been, I don't know, more frustrated about things recently. I think it's all tied into not wanting trail to end and that just kind of coming out in different ways. But yeah, so I had a nice think about that this morning, and came up with some ideas of just things to have in mind for when I come back from trail, so I don't have to think about them because they're all there and I know what I need to do. But yeah, other than that, there was a lovely landscape part way up the first climb, and there were so many berries today. It was, Oregon and the Sierras have kind of mosquito hell, but Washington has blueberry heaven. Like the last 2 days, there have been so many blueberries. It's been amazing. I've snacked so much. I've eaten so many of them. They've been so tasty. Very much enjoyed. And even some thimbleberries. Not many, like only 1 or 2 today, but still a good time. And I've been listening to a podcast about the Mount St. Helens eruption today, which was super interesting, especially because I thought I was staring at Mount St. Helens for a while, a good chunk of the day, until I realised I was probably looking at Mount Adams. I could see Mount St. Helens from further up, like when we got higher up towards Snowy Mountain, which I'll get on to in a sec. But yes, it was a lot further away than the mountain I could see this morning, which was quite funny. But yeah, interesting podcast. Interesting, just getting, because I'd learnt about Mount St. Helens eruption like years ago, but just getting a kind of more in-depth view of it was educational. The main drawback from today, though, has definitely been the smoke. So there's the little fire that is ahead of us, and we checked again today. PCT is still not closed ahead of White Pass, so hopefully it'll remain open as we go through. We'll keep checking as we go. But there's another fire on a peninsula somewhere. I'm not too familiar with Washington, but yeah, just lots and lots of smoke that obscured pretty much all of the views. Like we can just about see Mount Rainier, which is massive. But yeah, like half of it was obscured, a bunch of the mountains around. It did, I assume, make for a cool sunset, but we ended up lower down by the end of the day, so we couldn't see the sunset. But even despite that, the views today were really, really stunning. First one's probably when we went up to the first climb and over I've forgotten what the pass was, but we stopped for lunch at a pass, as did about every other hiker on trail that day. So there was about a line of 10 of us or so, just kind of sitting in the shade, enjoying the view. And there were some lovely day hikers who gave us some dried apricots, and they were just kind of excited to see PCT hikers. But yeah, really lovely. Nice to meet them. And at that point is when we decided to go up Old Snowy Mountain, which was about an extra 600 feet of elevation and a little bit of scrambling involved at the top. So we carried on our way, having amazing views of Adams on the way up. Carried on climbing. It was a lot of climbing today, and yeah, the views 360 from the top, just stunning, amazing. Even with all the smoke, like you could still see fairly far, and the silhouettes of all the Cascade Mountains in the distance were pretty cool, as were all of the glaciers nearby, or what was left of them anyway. And just the valleys around, stunning, beautiful everywhere you looked. One of those days where you just, every few steps you have to take another video or another photo because it's so beautiful, even if they all kind of end up looking the same when you look back at them. And then after we did that, trail kind of started to go downhill, but with some really steep uphills, like I was saying about going up the spine of a ridge that was really exposed. Luckily not windy at all, but you had to be careful on the way down. And we came cruising down, well, not really cruising because it was so steep still, so slowly, carefully down until we found our campsite. So we did go a little bit shorter than we intended originally, but we've only got about 15 miles to get into the town, or well, the Cracker Barrel with a K, tomorrow, where we're going to get our resupply, charge everything up, and hopefully do some miles at the end of the day as well. It may only be 5 or less than that, but it'll be nice to hike out rather than staying there tonight. But yeah, it's been an amazing day. It feels like Washington, all of the things that we were kind of promised to begin with are starting to emerge, and this is where it starts to get special. So really excited for the next few days, few weeks, everything that's coming our way. I'll see you tomorrow.